Okay, pick up the last video with my comic corner. Now, I'm still discussing here Miguel O'Hara, Spider-Man 2099. Now, in the previous video, I left off when I finished discussing issue 1, and I started to talk about issue 2, and I had to stop because of dinner. So, Spider-Man 2099 gets launched into space and goes to the frickin' moon. Thanks to the special suit he made, and ends up pretty much on the moon in a temple. Yes. They mentioned, I believe in this book, this actually is Moon Knight 2099's temple, because apparently it's based on the moon, because it's called Moon Knight. Yeah, and then apparently this actually is not the temple for him, but for the Tomb of Dracula. I love the fact that he used the logo from the classic book. Yeah, Dracula's here. And basically, Miguel beats him easily by biting him. Because, he can sport fangs. Of course, Dracula probably thinking that only vampires can sport fangs like his. Miguel's like, no, I can bite you too. And of course, now, they do give an explanation of... Now, for some reason, they draw Dracula like he's Vincent Price. And they give him pointy ears. It's almost like this is... Like, maybe design-wise, maybe this is probably going to be Namor, and they changed the Dracula for some reason. I'm not sure why. The head looks very much like Namor's. So, talking about livestock, and then here's the thing. So, Miguel explains in this issue that the vampires who had a vampire nation, like it was established in Avengers by Jason Aaron, but they were basically forced to be evicted from the planet, but they were, in exchange for leaving, they will provide a planet where they can live on, or they give a ship, and they'll live by the revived Lilith, Dracula's own daughter, who basically are banishing him from her own people, and they found a planet where the rivers are filled with blood. Now you're probably thinking, did Steven Layden rip off Vampirella's backstory with this? I would say yes. Given that this planet is basically an ocean full of blood. Yeah, it's literally just like... It's like they took the concept of Vampirella and gave it to Dracula's people, the vampires. And the reason why he's here, of course, he rips out his mask too. And basically, he's here to get Moon Knight. And then eventually goes back to Earth. And that's issue 2. Like, okay, interesting. Where issue 2 he encounters Dracula. So then, they call this Nova Atlantia, basically Atlantis in the future. They call this Earth 2099, where a bunch of werewolves, and then we have Miguel going to a virtual. It looks like he's battling Miles, Ben Reilly, and Peter as the Black Snake of Spider-Man. So then, of course, they go to a chemical hub where they deal with basically a new werewolf. And of course, this werewolf apparently was from the previous book, Dark Genesis, which is basically the Carnage book. Yeah, and we deal with him for the next issue. We also see Lyra, who is Miguel's... Basically his artificial intelligence, who... I believe, if I remember correctly, that this AI design is based upon Miguel's ex-fiancée, who he never ends up with. He was engaged to her at one point, but... Yeah, and then of course the whole thing with they deal with the wolf thing. And then like the very next issue, get this. So Miguel, by the way, love the cool cover here, which is homage to an old Steve Ditko cover. I think it was issue 58, I think it was. Where, get this. Miguel meets, I kid you not, Terror Incorporated 2099. Yeah, he's here. And we have, like... Yeah, we deal with him for the next issue. Like, okay, so, like... Issue 1 deals with the wolf. Issue 2 deals with Moon Knight and Dracula. Now deal with Terror Incorporated. Like, okay, interesting. And then the very next issue, he deals with... The appearance here by Swamp Thing 2099... Not Swamp Thing. Excuse me. Man Thing 2099. Who is also partially converted cyborg. Yeah. in New York. Yeah, I wonder if the P's are Parker Industries, but I highly doubt it exists anymore. So, yeah. So, it's like, okay, now we're dealing with Man-Thing. Interesting. And we deal with him for the last issue of the book. And then the book ends, Miguel O'Hara return. In Symbiotic Spider-Man 2099, which that picks up, believe it or not, from what I read, that miniseries, like the very first issue picks up right where issue 44 left off for the first 5 of 2099, which that is technically the next book for him, but this book is quite interesting to say the least. It's even though it's a miniseries, there's like no overarching story with this one, unlike the last few books, which had like an actual storyline. This is basically a series of one-shot stories that were basically put here just because, well, the book was leading to issue 100, so why not? Steve Orlando himself does an excellent job writing Miguel O'Hara. He may not Peter David per se, but I gotta admit, I say he's probably, in my opinion, probably the second best person to write the character. Because if it's been consistently, now, yes, this version is the one that debuted in Nick Spencer's version of 2099. That's basically where this version comes from, because the one Peter David created is in present day. This is SIP version 2099. This is another reboot of the continuity. But all in all, great miniseries. And I give this trade here, I'm going to give it a 10 out of 10 because that was really good. Yep. So, what's up for 29 review? Well, you got the mini issues of Volume 1, and you got the Symbiotic Spider-Man 2099 miniseries. Yep. But yeah, that's particularly a particular review. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn notifications, and do not hit the like button. Next up is, as a reincarnated aristocrat, use my praise to rise in the world. Okay, let's go. Bye.